My name is Dean Sherer. I'm a professional planner by trade. Just to kind of clear up some confusion, I'm not a planner for a particular city. I'm a planning consultant. And I work with an engineering firm in Southern California that does engineering and planning work for cities all over Southern California as well as out of state. But I have been a planner for about 30 years. I have worked for cities as a city employee. Probably the two most significant public sector stints I had were with the city of Anaheim for about 4 years and the city of Pasadena for about 3.5 years. But the remainder of my career has been in the private sector, working as a planning consultant. And in that role, I get to see a lot of projects and analyze them, and most recently analyzing projects for their environmental effects under CEQA. One of our clients, a good client that we work with quite frequently on projects in their city, is the city of Santa Clarita. And it just so happened that at the time the project on Samoa Avenue was coming forward to the Land Use Committee, and we did have a presentation by the project applicants about a month or so ago. We didn't get all the details of the project in that presentation, but we did get some understanding of at least the number of units and that type of thing. At the same time, I was working on a project at my desk for the city of Santa Clarita in the Newhall area called the Newhall Family Apartments. And I couldn't help but be struck by the fact that the project in Santa Clarita on Newhall Avenue proposed 62 affordable housing units on their site. The exact same number that were being proposed by the applicants for the project on Samoa. So I thought it would be interesting and instructive not only for the committee but for the community to look at these two different projects, and then having examined the differences, you can draw your own conclusions as to which would be the most desirable. I call it a tale of two cities because no one's going to pretend that the city of Los Angeles and the city of Santa Clarita are alike. They are not. But there are things that we can learn from the project that is proposed in Santa Clarita that might be able to be translated over to the project in Samoa. There has been some confusion about what exactly is proposed on Samoa Avenue, and this is just a slide that shows the history. There was, back in 2008, a proposed project at 10046 North Samoa that was approved by the city of Los Angeles, and it was for a 24-unit condominium or townhome project, which had a unit density of 48 dwelling units per acre. The key distinction here is that that was only for the lot at 1146 North Samoa, and that was roughly a half-acre lot, 20,652 square feet, or about half an acre. Now the current project not only includes the parcel of 10046 North Samoa, but also 10056 North Samoa. And this is the project that was presented to the Land Use Committee about a month or so ago. It's doubled its lot area by combining these two, the previously approved parcel with a new parcel, they're both vacant, to come up with 43,541 square feet, just shy of a total acre in size. But on this 1 acre lot, they're proposing 62 units, and it would be then, of course, 62 units per acre would actually be the density. This slide is the comparative slide that shows on the left the project characteristics of the proposed project on Samoa, that was 10046 through 56 North Samoa, and what is called the Newhall Avenue Family Apartments, which is the project in Santa Clarita. If you were to drive up the 14 freeway and get off at Newhall Avenue, there is an exit there. You drive it in about a mile or so, you'll see that there's a Caltrans park and ride lot there, as well as a small commercial area. And that is the area that's going to be redeveloped for the Newhall Avenue Family Apartments. The key difference is the lot size. The Samoa project, again, has the 1 acre lot size, but the 62 units that are proposed in the Newhall Avenue Family Apartment project will sit on 3.06 acres. So consequently, the density is much less. Let's talk a little bit about the Newhall Family Apartments and what we know about it from my work on the project. The property is in a redevelopment project area. Santa Clarita has several redevelopment project areas. The project on Samoa is not in a redevelopment project area. The financing for the project in Newhall is a combination of dollars. They're using federal dollars to acquire the properties for development with affordable housing. They're using neighborhood stabilization funds combined with CDBG funds. Because of that, they had to get clearance under NEPA, the National Environmental Policy Act, to use those funds for that affordable housing project. The kick-in for the Newhall family apartments, the largest funding is coming from the redevelopment agency itself. It'll be $6.5 million in low-mod housing funds from the redevelopment agency in Santa Clarita. That plus tax credits will finance that project. Now the financing for the project on Samoa is a little different. I don't have all of the details on it, but there is a combination of tax credits. There's no redevelopment set-aside money that's going to go into that project. But there were a number of funding sources for that project that were discussed by the people that presented it to us a month or so ago. When you compare the two projects side by side, and I'll show you some slides, here are the key differences. The Samoa Avenue project proposes 3 times the density than that proposed for the Newhall Avenue SB 1818 affordable housing project. The Samoa Avenue Affordable Housing Project initially proposed 70 subterranean spaces for 62 units, while the Newhall Avenue project is going to provide 132 at-grade covered and uncovered spaces for 62 units. Now, it's my understanding that since I put this presentation together, the project applicants for Samoa have increased the number of parking spaces that will be provided. It will be more than 70, but much less than what Santa Clarita is going to be provided in the Newhall Avenue project. The Samoa Avenue project proposes roughly 6,000 square feet of community center and common open space areas. There is an actual community center room as part of the project, and their common areas are really the landscape areas, the pathways that connect some of the buildings in that project together. Whereas the Newhall Avenue affordable housing project is going to propose around 17,000 square feet of combination community center and common open space areas within the project, and you'll see that in the site plan. So really key differences between the two projects. One of the things we tried to determine is the project on Samoa, is it located within the Foothill Boulevard Corridor specific plan? We think that it is. I'll be talking a little bit later about the corridor specific plan. But one of the commitments that was made by the project applicants, and I think Councilman Krikorian wrote it in the letter that he signed, which was in favor of the financing of the project, would be that he was in favor of it so far as if it would comply with the Foothill Boulevard Corridor specific plan requirements. At least that's my understanding. But we can see right away that it doesn't. There isn't enough common open space. Our plan requires 6,200 square feet of common open space. It's not, which is 100 square feet per unit. It's not really that large of an open space requirement. They are only proposing 5,820 square feet. They may think they meet the requirement, but because their common room can't count for more than 10% of the total required open space area, they fall beneath the minimum in the specific plan. The maximum height in our corridor specific plan for residential building, multifamily, is 33 feet. They don't provide a dimensioned height on their elevations, but working with a building official at my company, we determined it's probably going to fall within the correct height. It's around 32 to 33 feet in height. The Foothill Boulevard Corridor specific plan would require 155 parking spaces. This would be 2 spaces per unit plus a half guest space per unit. And they initially were only going to provide 70 parking spaces, which is 1.1 space per unit in a subterranean garage. They are providing more than that, but not as much as going to be required from by the specific plan. And then finally, there's a requirement in our plan for bicycle and scooter racks, and that type of thing. They're not providing it.